Welcome to Cool Rides of New England. This is video 4 of 7 of the RAVE Car Show. There's a lot of really interesting cars in this one, and hope you enjoy this video. More to come in the next few days. We're going to start off this video with a, I think it's an 83 Chevy El Camino. These were basically a Malibu station wagon with the anything behind the rear seats made into a truck bed. It's really a nice looking car. Now we are looking at something that is very rare, at least in my opinion. This car that we're looking at now is a 1970 Challenger RT. Now, in 70, not including the color of the car, which is plum crazy, in 1970 they made a total of 138 RT convertibles with the 383 V8 in it. So once you take into account how many are probably plum crazy, it's definitely going to be lower than 138. But couldn't find the numbers on the plum crazy specifically, but this particular car, being a Challenger RT convertible with a 383, it's one of 138. So this is super rare. If this car had had a Hemi, it would have been one of 9. That tells you how insanely rare this car is, and it is absolutely stunning. So there it is on the hood, the 383, and that doesn't even take into account. And the other thing that gets to that 138 number is the fact that it's a 4-speed car. There were more automatics made, but this is a 383 4-speed Challenger RT convertible, 1970. Here's a 64 Nova, Chevy 2 Nova. It's got the straight 6 in it. This is a 230. This is an immaculately, I'm going to say restored, could be original, Nova 2. It is a 2-door, which for the V6 would, it's interesting that it's the 2-door. I would have guessed a lot of the 6 cylinders would have been a 4-door. Now we're looking at a 67 International Scout. They made the Scout through the late 70s. They were just like the Broncos of the day, which we'll see a Bronco in just a second next to this one. They were bigger than the Wrangler, or back then it would be the CJ5 Jeep, which later became to be the Wranglers. But very, very capable off-road, just like the Broncos and the CJ5s of the time. And here's that Bronco I was mentioning about. This is heavily modified, got a great winch on there, 351 V8 engine. They did a really great job with these cutouts for the door and fiberglassing and all that in, so it looks it's really nice. Of course, roll cage throughout. Great color, bronze would be my best guess on the color. Heavy duty bumpers. It's a fabulous truck. You have a lifted Jeep Wrangler. .2 V8 under there. Nice front bumper with the winch on there. Like how it's stubby, so it gives better approach angles for the front tires to be able to grab. A nice car. Now we're looking at a 97 Acura Integra. I have briefly looked at this car at the first Cars and Coffee. Sorry guys, I'm not as big into the tuner scene, but I did talk with the owner of the car. Under the hood there is a JDM Type R engine. He's owned it 2 years and has done all the modifications to it. The wing in the back, the little ailerons in the front, the engine swap. I believe he said he did that. If you see the video, correct me if I'm wrong. But a nice little tuner from Menace Motorsports. Pretty good bunch of guys. Pontiac GTO. This was in 04 to 06 is when these cars were brought over. They're Australian cars. In Australia, they're known as the Monero. But just like a lot of the late Pontiacs before Pontiac went away, most of them were, Aussie cars. This one, it had the goods. It had a good, nice V8, power under the hood, but a lot of people who were really purists in the GTO world, just couldn't see that as a GTO. It's a great car, absolutely. Now we got a 98 Pontiac Trans Am WS6 package. This one is also one that I had briefly looked at up at the Cars and Coffee. This is Bad Bird. Heavily modified, as you'll see in a second from the plaque. A lot of work's been done on this car. It is a really nice car. You can see all that there, but a lot of stuff he's done to the car. I love those cars. And here's my all-time favorites. I did own an 86 Camaro when I was younger, so I am always in love with these cars. I know I'm a mullet head for liking it, but this is a Gen 3 RS. It's got the 5-speed. I think he said it was a 305 under the hood. Very interesting story with this. This is not a T-top car, however, you'll see in the back there, it does have a T-top bag, and that came with the car. So I was talking with the guy and said this must have been a Friday manufacturing car because they wanted to get out of work and just threw stuff in there to get the car done. And that's very interesting to see a T-top bag in a non-T-top car. And he has owned it since new. We have a 71 Chevelle SS. Very interesting color on it. I want to say it's like a cherry coat color. It's, nice looking car. Nice rims. Awesome interior. And here we have a square body Chevy dually pickup. This one they've lovingly named Black Betty. This body style was built a long time, from 73 up to 87, with minor changes to the front end design. This is one of the older ones. 80, very early 80s, they switched from round headlights to square headlights. So this, I would guess, is going to be, a 79 older. But if you guys know more, please correct me if I'm wrong. Here we have I believe this is a Ford, just custom rod convertible. Great paint job on this. I love the pinstriping throughout. White interior. This is a hell of a straight rod, that's for sure. Love the louvered hood. This is an early Dodge Dakota pickup truck. Don't know exactly the year on it. gonna say late 80s. This has been, that's all I would guess would be a close to plum crazy color on it. Looks like it used to be a plower at one point. Nice looking truck. This truck I have seen at the Heaven on Wheels car show. I've lovingly called this Franken truck because it is a mix of square body cab, a 50s front end, and a 50s Impala, I believe it's Impala rear end. Interesting truck. Look at those videos for more. Now we're looking at a 69 Chevelle SS 396. Probably a 4-speed car. Very cool green paint on this car. I don't know that these came that particular color factory, but they picked a really nice color for this car. This is going to be, 69. Yep, there we go. 69 Chevelle SS 454. That's car will fly. Looking at a 68 Pontiac GTO Ram Air. These cars are awesome. I love the hidden headlights of these. My wife had ridden in a car similar to this in her childhood. That's it was a GTO Judge, so I always have a soft spot for these cars. And I'm looking at a C3. I'm guessing about a 78 Corvette. L88 V8 under the hood. Yep, 78. Nice original looking interior. Automatic car. As you can see, that this is for sale. And 78 would actually be the 25th anniversary car. And here we're looking at a dune buggy, I should say. I'm not quite as familiar with this particular body style as compared to like the Marks Manx. I believe that's what you call them. Body styles. But this has kind of a look of an older model T Ford. And now we're looking at a 34 Ford Coupe. Roof's been chopped on this. Very nice interior. Late model interior. Really nice red paint on it. So this will be the three-window coupe. So, and I did not check to see whether this is an actual metal body car or fiberglass panels on it, but whoever owns this definitely put a lot of loving time and money into this thing. And here is a 72 Buick Skylark. This, if you follow Facebook, I did a couple pictures of this a couple weeks ago. Again, it's a very similar green to that Chevelle a few cars back. 352 barrel. This is a nice car. The owner said it just came out of repaint, so it's really a nice car. Now we're looking at a Chevy Nova 502. That was not a stock engine for these cars, so that is something the owner has put into here. And racing gauges in there, so this is really. I'd love to have heard this car rumble to life, but it's absolutely beautiful. Last car for this video is this 55 Bel Air. I am in love with the flame paint job on this car. It looks like the car is on fire. It is absolutely amazing. Interior is gorgeous as well, but the paint job on this car is by far one of the best flame jobs I've ever seen. I felt like I was getting burned just standing that close to the car. So that does it for video 4 of the Rave Car Show. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. And if this is your first time here, please subscribe. And if you, we are also on Facebook, Cool Rides of New England, Twitter, and Instagram, Cool Rides of NE, all lowercase, all one word. Follow us on that as well. And there will be some more information in the description as far as other ways to contact us. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a good day.